Welcome to the Heidi Thorne Show. I'm your host, Heidi Thorne, and in this podcast, I share my real world self publishing and small business experience with you. So let's get started with today's show. Now, the tip that you'll see frequently pop up on social media and other places online like blogs that talk about self publishing is that you need to get an ISBN number for your book. Now, in theory, I say, sure, get it. Um, and they also caution not to use the free ISBNs that are offered by self-publishing platforms such as Kindle Direct Publishing. Okay, let's take a step back here and let's explain what an ISBN is. Now, the ISBN numbering system was set up, I believe, in the 1970s, and it was really developed to help bookstores inventory and locate books for their stores. So you're thinking, well, okay, that sounds like a good idea, right? Now, as I've ranted on continuously over time, is that your chances of getting in a bookstore are very, very slim. So what is the value of an ISBN number? First of all, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't give you any marketing power. It doesn't extend any copyright protection. I mean, it really is nothing more than an inventory number, like a barcode. And there is a barcode that's usually associated with the number, but it's just like the scanning barcode at the grocery store. I mean, it isn't that big of a deal, and especially if you are selling on the likes of Amazon. Think about this. If your customers are primarily Amazon buyers, which a lot of them are, let's be honest, they sell a good chunk of the, where was I looking? Was it something like 42%? I mean, it's crazy numbers of the total amount of physical books that are sold through Amazon. So they're selling, the ebooks and physical. If your buyers are the kind that buy on Amazon, what are they going to do when they're looking for a book like yours? Are they going to type in the ISBN number? Of course they're not. Well, the only time they might is if maybe they ran across the ISBN number somewhere. I mean, we're in the days of search on Google, on Amazon, on YouTube. All of these are search engines. And what people usually do is they'll type in either the author's name because they know who you are, and that's the big deal, is if they know who you are as the author, they can go online and look for you by your author name, not your ISBN number. And when they're looking for the title of a book, are they going to type in the ISBN number? No, they are not. They're going to type in the title of the book or something that is close to it so that they can find it. And are they going to find it if they're typing in they want a certain type of book, a certain type of nonfiction or fiction book? Do you think they're going to type in the ISBN number? No, they're not. Now, the advice about getting an ISBN number is relatively sound. And the reason I say that it is relatively sound is that when you purchase an ISBN number through our broker, you're not using the free one provided by your self-publishing platform, but you buy them on your own, which is usually the advice that's given out there. And you have to pay for them. They are maybe, depending on how many you buy, and you have to have one for each format of the edition of your book. You have to have one for print, you have to have one for ebook, and you have to have one for audiobook. So it starts adding up pretty quickly if you have multiple formats of each of your books. Now, when you get that number, it puts you in the what they call books in print database. And what that is a like catalog, directory, I don't know what you would want to call it, that bookstores use when they are ordering books. Okay, but there's nothing in the books in print database that says, hey, school or library or bookstore, this self-published author has a brand new book. Isn't that exciting? Of course not. It's like the white, it's kind of like the white pages used to be. For those of you of a certain age who remember the white pages, which was a complete alphabetical listing of just random people and businesses, and it was just a straight directory. I mean, it didn't say, oh, you should call Joe Smith over here. Again, I think if you are big into the bookstore market, which I would say most self-published authors aren't, because a lot of bookstores just don't have the space for your book. Hey, there's a probably less than 5%, less than, I've even seen estimates of less than 1% chance of your book ever getting in a traditional bookstore. So worrying about getting into bookstores is kind of like the problem of you're worried about how you're going to get service on a $250,000 sports car when you only have $250 in your bank account and you could never afford that expensive of a sports car. So I have to laugh sometimes. I think a lot of self-published authors think they're bigger than they are, and they still have this image in their head of the old style publishing business, traditional publishing business, where they're going to be the celebrity author star that everybody's going to, okay, I can't go on a rant like that, and I apologize. But I think you really have to think, if your book is really destined for bookstores, then it might be worth it. But for the vast majority of self-published authors, I'm going to say it's probably something optional, and you can probably use the free ISBN. So, but you have to choose that. And remember too that on Kindle, for Kindle Direct Publishing and Amazon, they don't assign an ISBN number for you. There's no free ISBN. You can assign one that you purchase from our Bowker to your ebook, but they don't assign ISBN numbers to Kindle ebooks through Kindle Direct Publishing. They assign an ASIN, which is an Amazon inventory number. We're going full circle back to inventory numbers. Inventory numbers are just inert. I mean, there's nothing magical about them, and it doesn't really help your marketing per se. The argument comes up that, well, I want to be tied to the book. If somebody is searching for my book, I want to be the publisher. Okay, that's fair. That's a definite reason to get your own ISBN numbers. But again, let's go back to that search stuff. Searching is the way text searching, or these days it's going towards voice searching. People aren't going to either type in, or they're not going to go to their Alexa or Google Home and say, I want ISBN number 9, blah, 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 blah. That's just not how the world works, especially online. So I think you really have to decide whether you want to invest in ISBNs or not. And for me, I don't. I I did, I think, for a couple books like 25 years ago, maybe. I mean, long time ago, but not now. I just don't see the value to me and to my marketing. So I hope you have found this helpful as you plan for your self-publishing book projects. And if you did, I would appreciate it if you would wander over to Apple Podcast and give the Heidi Thorne Show a nice rating and review. And while you're on Apple Podcast, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode of this important information about your self-publishing career. If you're not on Apple Podcasts, that's okay. I'm on Stitcher and Podbean. And if you like the video version of the podcast better, I am on YouTube. You just have to subscribe to my Heidi Thorne YouTube channel. And if you like to listen on your Alexa, you just have to use the AnyPod skill and you'll find the Heidi Thorne Show there. I would appreciate it if you would share the show with your friends on social media. And if you are looking for my books, you can easily find them by searching for my name, Heidi Thorne, on Amazon.com, and you will find my author page. All of my books, my print books, ebooks, and audiobooks are on my Amazon Heidi Thorne author page. And if you like just the audiobooks, no problem. Just go over to Audible or Apple Books and type in my name, and you will find my audiobooks there. If you would like to connect with me, my website is very simply HeidiThorne.com. Thank you so much for listening and for your support. I'll look forward to talking with you again in the next episode. In the meantime, have a great day.